Hey everybody, it's your man Tight coming to you with another true spook story. Now before I begin, let me ask that you hit that like button. Go and subscribe to the channel and share me if you're feeling the content. Now, first I want to apologize to you guys for last week. I didn't post and I got rave reviews in those emails and a lot of people saying you guys really depend on these stories. I want to thank you all for giving me an outlet and for listening to the tales of my grandmother and myself and how I learned magic and growing up here in the South and in Central Florida. So thank you guys again for that. But I needed a little break. Personal issues, you know how it go. But by that being said, since you guys like these stories so much and I got overwhelming emails and texts and TikTok messages and things, y'all hit the like button, subscribe to this motherfucker, and share me. I'm gonna curse, I'm gonna talk shit, and I'm gonna keep it southern as fuck. That's all I know. So y'all put me out there some more. I'm trying to go viral. All right, that's enough begging. But thank you guys for real. All right, so this story is gonna take place in Orlando, Florida area, but this story is gonna take place at this cemetery. Now we got this cemetery called Washington Park Cemetery. It's off of Bruton Boulevard. It's off of Bruton Boulevard and LB McLeod Road. Now, when you walk in there, there is no mausoleums. It's just a crappy, in my opinion, it's a crappy burial ground. It sit right behind the Richmond Heights community. Not Richmond Heights. I think it's Richmond, Carver Shores. Carver Shores or Richmond Heights. I'm not there, so I got to figure it out when I get there. But I want to say Carver Shores, but it sit behind the Carver Shores community. And the people who houses that sit behind it, they have no back, like no fences or nothing. You can literally walk out the backyard and walk directly into the cemetery any time of night. Surprisingly, nobody do spell work over there. It's always black. It's like nobody wants to do spell work in that cemetery. Well, so now this is the cemetery. So I want to tell you guys a story about the time that we was out there putting offerings, because I got family members buried out there. I'm not going to say who, but I got various family members buried out there personally. And so we would go out here to the cemetery and we would all, stand around on their birthdays, which most African Americans do in the South. We get together on our loved ones' birthdays and we go and we, get a bottle, a gin, whatever their favorite drink, wine, gin, Hennessy, cup of strawberry daiquiris, you know what I'm saying? And we sit up there and we toast up, we drink for them on their birthday. We have a little low music playing. We ain't jicking and dancing on nobody's grave, but we sitting around and we saying how much we love each other and we telling stories about each other that we had our memory of the people. This is how we do it in the South, people. This is real Southern comfort, loving you always from death to life, life to death, that energy. Now, so, one Saturday morning, we go out there to the cemetery, watching the park, and we visiting one of our relatives. So we all sitting around and we all dancing and singing their favorite songs and all that stuff. Who can sing, they would sing good. And who just knew how to dance, they would sit up there and they would do popping, locking, and we would just have a good time and we'd be drinking our bottle and we'd all stay there till the bottle was finished and we'd post some on the grounds, on the headstone, and things was good. So when my grandma was alive, she used to always have this cup, and it would be just a regular copper cup, copper, regular real copper too. It wasn't the kind you buy offline that you think copper and it got a little skunky smell to it. Be mindful of your copper, people. This was an old copper cup and it had green oxidization on the outside of the bitch, but it never oxidized on the inside. So grandma would go out here and she would drink out of that. We would all be drinking out of paper cups or other shot the red shot cups, whatever. So I noticed grandma would be the last one and she would say, "Hey, make sure I get the last bit of that liquor." So we would make sure she get the last bit of the liquor, the wine, whatever we were drinking. And grandma always had to get the last little bit. So we hand grandma the bottle. She'll swig the bitch from the head. Now all the time she drinking out of this cup. She'll swig from her copper cup. She'll swig it from the head. Boom. Then with the last little bit, what we call like the watch back, grandma would go ahead and pour it in the copper cup. And she would place the cup. After she drunk out of it, took one more sip out of it, she would put the cup on top of the grave. And she'll sit it there. And she'll sit it there and she'll come back, let it sit there Sunday, probably evaporate, whatever. But then she'll come back and she'll get it Monday on her way to work. Grandma always do this. She'll drive to the cemetery. She'll get it Monday on her way to work. No matter what day it is, if we celebrated that Saturday, grandma would be out there that Monday to pick it up. Now, we have been doing this for years. It's a tradition in our family. Now, one day, this is about 3 years before grandma passed. One day, grandmama, we celebrated auntie, and so grandma did the same what she do all the time. Left the cup sitting out there, boom, left the cup on the headstone, bam. We went away. Nobody bothered it. Nobody ever touched it, nothing. So on this one particular occasion, we get out there, grandma, the cup gone. So first thing grandma do, she get on her cell phone, she called me. She's like, tight. I say, yes, ma'am. This morning time about 7, 8. She say, where the fuck you at? I say, I'm sitting up here in the bed, grandma, everything all right, everything all right. I'm jumping up, grabbing my clothes, slapping my people that I was laying with. Man, move, hold on, let me, grandma. So I go in the next room. What's wrong, grandma? I'm thinking some shit done popped off. She say, my cup gone. I say, your spit cup? No, god damn it, not my spit cup. My cup, my royal cup. I say, the copper cup? I say, where it's going at, grandma? I'm thinking she lost it. I left it out here, and then I come back and it ain't here. Who the fuck would take my cup? Ain't nothing good gonna come to them who take that cup. Ooh, them bitches. I say, grandma, I'm on my way. I say, maybe the wind blew it. So I'm thinking the wind blew it, rolled down the ditch. I'm rushing my ass out there. Right, boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna hit it. It took me about 10, 15 minutes to get from Mercy Drive over there to grandma. Grandma, let's look for it. She like, I gotta go to work. You make sure you find my fucking cup. You find that goddamn cup tight. Don't you leave this cemetery till you find that goddamn cup. I said, yes, ma'am. So I said, yes, ma'am, because, I'm sitting out there tripping. Grandma, come on now, bitch. I'm gonna haul ass when you haul ass. This is what I'm thinking. So she go to work and she just cursing and what caught me, and it kind of made me tear up a little bit because she got in the car and she was praying on her way to work, and she like, oh Lord, let me find my cup, let me find my cup. She kept saying that. So I said, okay, let me take this here. So I'm walking the whole cemetery thinking, okay, somebody got it, picked it up. I'm walking from the top, starting from letter A to letter Z, back and forth, walking in heels, I'm looking down the little ditch in the hills and shit. I'm looking everywhere. I'm literally got a stick, knocking over bushes, brushing bushes. I'm doing everything. So I done walk the cemetery. I don't see the cup, people. Don't see the cup. I'm like, shit. I done been out there like an hour, 2 hours doing this. So I say, let me double back one more time because I want to make sure I get this. So I double back and I do it again. Now, I'm to the far side of the cemetery where the front of the gate at, because you walk, the way it's made, you go through 2 white pillars, you go in, and you will have to drive all the way to the back, and when you get to the very part where the road end, you look to the left, and that's where, our family members at. So, as I'm sitting over there, and I say, let me walk back, I start walking back through the cemetery, looking to retracing my step. So I say, man, God, help me find this. So I start praying to God. So I look over there and I see a kind of like a mixed woman, mulatto woman. She had on a black top, like a black bodysuit, tank top bodysuit. You know what y'all girls used to wear. And she had on some stone-washed jeans. And they were form-fitting. You know how chicks used to dress back, how ladies used to dress back in the 80s or some shit. In the early 90s, 2000. Late 90s, early 2000. So, and she had long hair, but her back was turned to me. And keep in mind, I was a good little distance away from her. So I say, hey, I say, ma'am. And I'm running. So I say, let me run over here to her. Maybe because she was close to our family grave site. And I'm like, let me go see. Maybe she got it. Maybe she saw something. I'm finna ask. Maybe, because I never seen her out here. She didn't look like she belonged, but she had her head down, standing up like she was weeping. So people, as I'm getting close, some said, stop running. So I slowed down. So I'm looking and I'm staring at her. And something ain't right because my eyes couldn't adjust to the two can lock on her. And I'm sweating my eyes right now, people. It is what it is. Because I'm having a memory. Eyes keep watering. And I'm trying my best to focus on it, but I can't focus on it. It's like she just out of frame, like phasing. Zzz, that shit. So I slowed down and say, hold up. So now I'm getting close. I'm about 50 yards away from her, half of a football field away from her. So I'm looking at her, I'm like, hold up, I should be able to see her clearly. But she's still looking kind of hazy to me, translucent and shit. So I say, let me do something. So I look down and she didn't have no feet. I say, hold on, she floating? She ain't got no feet. So I'm like, okay. So I stop, because I say, okay, this bitch a ghost. I say, well, I ain't finna fuck with no grieving ghosts. And I say, I couldn't tell whether she was directly over our relative, our ancestor, or was she next to it, because the depth perception wasn't there for me, people. So I slowed down, so I stopped waving to her, because she didn't turn and look at me or nothing. I just stopped waving. So then when I stopped, I just stared there. It didn't cross me to pull out my phone, none of that shit, though. And I say, okay, what's going on here? What's going on here? So as I'm staring and I'm chilling, I say, well, I'm finna back up a little bit and get in my shit and just go on home. I say, I don't need this type of ghost shit fucking with me. So as I'm backing up, she gets sense the fear. So she turns and she looks at me. Now people, she ain't got no hair, no face. Her hair is jet black, like a nice dark brown almost. And you can tell from a distance, she got a very great shape to a very attractive woman spirit-wise. But she had no facial features that I can make out, like her face was blank and she was floating. But when she turned around, I noticed what she had in her hand. She had grandma's cup in her hand. Now, when she had grandma's cup in her hand, I froze like solid ice cold, because I'm like, I know this is a real cup. The clothes could have been an illusion, the hair could have been an illusion. But grandma drank out of this cup for years when we went and celebrated our ancestors and shit. So I stopped and I said, Grandma, I need this cup. So I said, well, Grandma know how to protect me. I'm protecting me and Grandma ride with it. So I stopped and I walked up that to her. So as I'm walking up that to her, she started floating my way, real slow though. I mean, this whole encounter had to take about an hour and a half in my mind, because she came to me so slow. It's like I was hypnotized. So when she came up to me, I thought she was coming to me. I'm sorry. I thought she was coming to me, but I was being hypnotized and tranced to come to her. So when I finally gained my composure, I'm standing over the grave of my ancestor, of our family that's buried out there. And she in front of me. Now, I'm less than 2 feet from this woman, 3 feet total. And I can't make out no facial features. But I can smell the skin. She smelled like almonds. She smelled like almond butter or something, like an almondish scent. Sweet but nutty. And I'm looking at her. And she has a chalice and she hands it to me with both hands. And I'm like, I take it from her. I said, okay. Now, when I took it from her, electricity shot through my body. My arm went numb, people, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack, because the energy transfer was just that strong. So when she shot it to me, I'm like, I froze and started shaking, and like my eyes rolled in the back of my head, but I'm standing on my feet and I'm freaking the hell out here, people. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm cognitive enough to know, like, bitch, I'm finna die or heart attack, because my chest was hurting. Our right arm was hurting in the center of my chest at the same time. So I took the cup, and when I took the cup, she slid backwards. And when she slid backwards, she slid all the way out of the cemetery. So now I got there about 7, 8 in the morning. People, when all this searching and shit took place, it was like 1:30 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I got in my car and pulled out that bitch. So time had stopped, literally. So I say, Grandmama, I found your cup. And this gonna shock y'all, or it may not. Y'all know how I roll. I said, Grandma, I found your cup. She's like, boy, I love you. I love you. She just saying she love me. I'll be over there. So I come out there. She come bend in the corner with the blue Buick, jump out that bitch, skirt, skirt. And she go to kissing me all on the face, rubbing me all on the back, slapping me on the ass, talking about, you big, thick nigga, I love your thick ass, boy. You never let me down. And, I'm basking in grandma shit. Grandma, goddamn. I'm like, Grandma, stop. The ladies out here. And we just making jokes, and she just kissing me all up. I got tobacco spit on my face. It's just beautiful. I love that lady, y'all. So grandma say, where you find it? I say, surprisingly, Grandma, I say, I think a ghost had it. People, out of all the joking me and Grandma were doing, Grandma's face went straight black. It ain't go white. Grandma had the most niggerish looking face on her motherfucking face I ain't seen. Grandma, boy, if Grandma had a perm, that bitch would have matted up like an afro. She went straight niggle. She say, what the fuck? Who had the motherfucking what? I say, Grandma, I got this from a ghost lady, man. She say, hold on. Let me describe this bitch to you. I say, if you can. And she say, but this some white heifer. I say, Puerto Rican or high yellow, one or the two. She say, did that bitch have on like no sleeves on her shirt? I say, yes, ma'am. She ain't have no sleeve. I say, did she have brown hair? I say, yes, ma'am. I say, what color jeans she was wearing? She say, the bitch typically come with a black dress on. This time she wore pants with a filthy ass. I say, Grandma, you cannot talk about the dead like that. She like, I could talk about that bitch. I say, oh, whoa. So now, I'm like, okay, what the fuck going on here, Grandma? So now I'm going to stop it right there because it's more to this story. That ain't the creepy part, people. I know when I say that, y'all fuck with me. Like, what you mean? That ain't creepy? That ain't the creepy part, people. So I got to give you the backstory on the ghost via what Grandma told me. So this ghost lady, she liked my uncle. She liked Uncle B. But Uncle B was into some dumb shit. He was into the streets, into him and her type energy. And Uncle B was just out there. So when Uncle B was out there selling dope and doing what he was doing, hanging out and chilling and shit, she was his main ace boo coon ride or die. Now the auntie that we had buried out there, they was friends and they used to watch out for each other. So when auntie passed away, she auntie couldn't keep Uncle B in line like that. So she started like trying to run with Uncle B, and she couldn't do it, and Uncle B was just using her and dogging her out. So one day, and this made news in Orlando, people, it is what it is, if y'all could find it, but this is way back. So there was a shootout, and she ended up getting shot and killed in the shootout. And before she was gone, because my auntie got killed in the shootout about 10 years prior, and she kept fucking with Uncle B all the way up there. And he was taking her through it, man. He was dogging that sister out. And she was a white girl too, by the way. So now it was a shootout because she was trying to hold a bag for him, hold a gun or whatever. And he called her to bring the gun, and when she came out running to him, the dope boys that were trying to get him, or the hit boys that were trying to get him, turned around and knocked her ass off. Boom, done, dead. So he got away, and he never went up there and claimed the body. He never let it know, but the people who went to jail for it, they got charged, but he made sure he wasn't involved because he was a, dope boy hitter. So Grandma said that she would constantly always see her when she go out there to visit her daughter, which was my auntie who's buried out there. She would constantly go out there and visit her daughter, and she would always see the ghost of that white heifer standing over there in the corner, waiting on her to leave so she could go over there and stand over my auntie grave. And Grandma say she tried everything to banish that ghost from that cemetery, but she couldn't shake that lady. So I said, okay, okay. So I say, so she was very much, into auntie. And grandma basically like, yeah. Say, cause she was fucking both of them. I say, what? She like, yeah, she was in love with your auntie and she was in love with your uncle. And them two bitches was fighting. She the reason my kids don't get along to this motherfucking day. Cause that bitch had a taste for pussy and dick too. And grandma was like, I hate that bitch. I hate that white heifer. And I'm like, oh, okay. So grandma said, I bet that bitch out there and she took my motherfucking child. If that hoe ever touch it again, I'm gonna bind her ass to a stick and plant that bitch in shit. And I'm like, grandma just was saying all kind of spooky dooky old crappy shit. So I'm like, damn, this some real shit here, grandma. I ain't never seen grandma angry at a ghost. So I say, okay, grandma. I say, well, so-and-so birthday coming up again. We need to go out here and celebrate. I say, you gonna lead the cup again? No, that bitch gonna take it. I said, grandma, it's something you can do to make sure she don't take the glass. I said, come on. I said, take the cup. I said, come on, grandma. We smarter than this. She like, well, I'm gonna do it then. I didn't want to have to use this type of shit, but I'm gonna do it. So I say, okay, what we gonna do? So I'm finna give you a spell, right, people? If you want to stop the dead from taking your shit, this is a patented grandma spell. If y'all don't share these stories, y'all must be out y'all fucking mind, man. If y'all ain't liking this bitch, subscribe and getting this out here, because this is teaching Southern Folk Magic 101, hoodoo energy all day long. Get your boy out there. But back to the story. So grandma say, tight, go to that goddamn Petco and get me a motherfucking boa constrictor. I say, grandma, you out your mind. I say, this is the one motherfucking thing I ain't gonna do. I say, get Robert to do it. That bitch love them nasty ass snake. Well, tell him to go get it, goddamn it. Give him the money. I say, what? I say, them things like $60. She like, give him the goddamn money. We need it for Saturday come, yeah? I said, yes, ma'am. So I ain't drive Robert up that I would have, but no, fuck that. So he had the people come get him and gave him the money. He got the boa constrictor, the small baby snake. She say, all right. I say, I'm gonna touch the snake, but I need you to be here. Don't you be scared. I ain't gonna put it on you. This ain't playtime. I say, yes, ma'am. So grandma took the snake. She wrapped it around the cup, the bottom of the chalice cup, around the base of it. She set it up there. She put some liquor in that bitch. I think we were drinking Hennessy that time. So E&J, Easy Jesus. We were drinking that E&J. So she pulled that E&J in there. Boom. So when she pulled the E&J in there, she said she let it sit up there. Now the snake was alive, but the way she had tied the snake, it couldn't uncoil itself. So she left the snake in that position for about, 2-3 days tops. So she came back and she got the snake. When she picked up the snake, she instantly took a cleaver to that bitch. Boom, head come off. She held the snake upside down. Now she mixed the the E&J blood, the E&J liquor with the Hennessy blood. Okay? Listen to me, with the snake blood. She had the snake dripping and it's just like dripping because it was a baby. It wasn't even coiling up or recoiling. So when the snake got done, she like threw that bitch over the gate, like boom. And it landed in the tree. She said, go knock it out the tree, because if it stay in the tree too long, it'll make it rain. I said, all right. So I took a stick and slapped that bitch out the tree. It fell on the ground and rotted out. She took the head of the snake, put it in the liquor, in the blood, and we drove to the cemetery. She said, okay, well, I can't drink out of it now. She said, but I drunk out of it before you got here, so this gonna have to satisfy. So when she put on the headstone when we all was out there, she had it wrapped up in a black cloth. And when we got done celebrating, they say, grandma, you go to the bottle, do what you do. So this time, grandma took the bottle and she took her swig and she got the cup. She poured a little bit on the cemetery plate, and she poured some into the chalice with the blood and the liquor, snake blood and the liquor. She sets it on top of the gravestone and she do her prayer. So she comes back, so she leave again. She say, I bet that bitch don't touch it this time around. So she do the same old thing. So now I stayed at grandma's house. I slept on a pallet in the living room floor right by the door. So when she get to stumping, I could hear her ass. So I said, "Come on, grandma, take me with you. Take me with you." I said, "Just drop me off." I said, "You can just drop me off at the bus stop. I'd catch bus 20 on back to Mercer Drive. No, it ain't nothing. Come on." She like, "All right." So we go out there. We driving. I'm looking, beaming for the location where we were, people, and I see the chalice still there. I say, "Okay, good." I'm looking around for the ghost bitch. She ain't here. I say, "Good." So when we get up there, and people, I can't make this shit up now. I'm telling you, when we get up there, I know grandma put that snake head inside that liquor, and it sat up there for 24 hours, 48 hours. The liquor evaporated almost, and it was down to like the little thick sugary residue or the liquid wax residue, however that shit formed. Tell me why the snake head was gone, and it was a long piece of brownish black hair in the bottom of the residue. Grandma took that copper cup and she said, "We got that bitch now." Grandma took that copper cup. Grandma wrapped that cup in some black, wrapped that bitch in a black handkerchief. She tied it at the bottom 3 times with some white yarn, white thread. Then she took red thread and wrapped it around the top of it this way. And she took white yarn and wrapped it around the top of it this way. And around the side, she put black yarn, locking them together. She said, "I done captured that bitch. I done captured me a ghost." And I'm laughing and shit like, "You sure did." Now, I'm thinking to myself, where the fuck is the snake head, grandma? You know, bitch just take out the snake head and put hair in there. I say, that's crazy. So, grandma explained this to me, and I'm explaining it to y'all. Grandma say when she came up there to fuck with the snake, to fuck with the chalice, the energy, the blood of the snake, the energy of the snake was still there. She left the head in the snake head of the snake facing up. So if anybody come, it's like the snake is gonna strike that person. So when the snake struck at that person, the snake energy captured that person's energy and left it in the cup. So that's why the hair was in there and you didn't find the snake head, because it had captured it, did what it did. And grandma wrapped it up and she caught it. So now to this day, I know where that cup at, but I ain't fucking with it. Cause I don't know if the bitch ghost still there. And the last thing I need the ghost doing, eating my old lady motherfucking eye, and me too. So leave that ghost bitch where she at, cause she's like both arms, your grandma said. So that we still carry that. It's still sitting at my auntie house. We don't open it, we don't touch it. We just know what it is. It stays in a shoebox in the back of the closet by the front door. We don't fuck with it. Grandma dead and gone. And that bitch still there. We still got a ghost trapped. We don't talk about it. Auntie don't pull it out. We don't ask about it. It's just there. We know it's there because we open the closet to get our coats. And we'll sometimes peek behind there and we see the same shoebox because we know that's grandma's shoebox. So that's how that work, people. Grandma trapped her motherfucking ghost. And the same ghost that bought the rift between her kids, because the lady was screwing both of them, in love with Auntie and in love with Uncle B. Grandma trapped that bitch, and Grandma got her. Now, did Grandma ever use her in spell work? I don't know. That ain't not for me. It's still wrapped up the same how Grandma showed me from day one. I guess Grandma just trapped the ghost. Now, I think I just gave y'all a magical spell how to trap a ghost, people. Try it at your own risk. Don't try it at all. Have an experienced motherfucker do it. But that's how we captured a ghost. And now we had to get another copper cup to do it. So now we still celebrate this on the anniversary of somebody's death or on the birthday or something. We'll all go out there. We'll let off balloons and shit. And we'll drink out of that one copper. Everybody drink out of a cup. And we'll sit it up there. And I got to go pick that copper cup up the day after. And I got to return it, to the family member who hold all the archives, which is Auntie, which is my other auntie. She the member, she the archives of the family. She know everybody's business. We tell her everybody's business. She keep pictures, photos, records, phone numbers off the top of her head. So, and that's how it work in our family. So I'm finna let y'all go now. I done gave y'all a little too much. I think I done gave you too much. I should have did that as a one on my Patreon and taught that spell how Grandma taught me. But I may just do it All right, everybody. I'm finna let you go. I'm tight. telling you guys, be careful what you sip on, because not everything's sweet. Take care, everybody. Stay blessed.